Icon Radio.
Top of the morning, DJ Hitch.
Top of the morning, Sandy.
How are you?
Easy.
Nalipnaka cute. Everyone, if you're not physically seeing,
At the campaign.
like at the campaign, no, actually, you need to wear color more. Me, I don't know who you were dating before, whoever you're dating now, but they failed you. The new one understands the assignment.
Yeah,
fully understands the assignment.
Manager, amekopia manager.
There we go. Yeah. Zikilipuka sasa mimi sijui utafanya nini. All your bookings will be cancelled. Then you'll be back to square one. And then ni sisi ndo tuko. Utarudi tuko streets, my guy. Anyway, guys, karibuni, you're on the stage with Sandra and DJ Hitch on Icon Radio. Sasa, a very sad thing happened when we left show last week. Mm-hmm. A legend in the music industry passed away. So there's a guy called Jamal Edwards who started a company called SBTV. And he's the one who literally brought to us Akina Jessie J, Ed Sheeran. You know, he's a pioneer in like making UK hip-hop and grime globally accepted and famous. At age 31.
Man.
Age 31.
What happened?
Random, like he just got sick, I think on like the Friday night or something. Rushed to Hosi. Boom, that was the end of the story. So his mom just put a post out to be like, we lost him. Like literally out of nowhere. So all these, like all the artists, Akina Drake and everyone went out because everyone knew that he's the one who put UK music on the map and UK artists. Even Akina Rita Ora, people like that. He's the one who broke their careers and made it out there. You know what I mean? Hey. So that just happened.
Industry, manze.
Ati?
Yeah, you make a dent.
It's no, for sure. Because if you think of the talent that he was responsible of putting out there for us, like they're legends right now. Like somebody like Ed Sheeran, we know he's a legend. You understand what I'm trying to say? So you imagine somebody, the person who put you on the map and gave you the opportunity to become the star that you are, just dropped dead and died out of nowhere.
Man.
So the whole world was really like crushed about that news. And so are we, I guess, because even here in Kenya, with the introduction all of a sudden, with UK artists coming through to do gigs, so we had NSG. I always forget their names. I don't know why I always forget that name because I feel like it doesn't make sense. Anyway, so
in other news.
So that happened. So rest in peace is the moral of the story. I always feel bad when you lose like one of the guys who works so hard to put artists on because there's so few. So you lose, it's like, there's like another generation of artists who are going to miss out on opportunities because we all know the goons who are already in the industry who help with nothing.
Manze.
So when you find the one little small who do help and actually push like artists, it makes me so sad when we lose them, So I always have to just give that shout out like that. So this episode today, we've got amazing guest artists in studio. Females. Lakini leo when you say, you're just rolling with the girl squad.
Kuna joto huku manze.
Okay, first of all, whoa. That escalated way too quick for me personally. So we've got 2 female artists in studio today. And why my selection? I'll tell you I don't know your personal. Okay, actually, it's me who forced issues here, but my personal choice for this is because I really like female musicians who, number one, have understood the business side of the music, so they're not dependent on the fact that because I have boobies, munisaidie. You know what I mean? Because it happens a lot when we know it historically, even currently. That's what happens a lot of the times. So when you find female artists who work hard to build their brands, are actually talented. They're not just bahatishaing and kama kina Diana huku with things that are not quite adding up. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Cutting corners.
Cutting every corner on the planet. Every corner. So it makes me very happy. So we've got Bakhita in studio. And Pendo is going to be joining us later. Now, everybody, obviously, we know the history of Pendo. She was on Nairobi Diaries. Was in the media for like 1, 2, 3 things. And I think at some point she beat up Vera Sidika. However, outside of that, she's incredibly talented.
Yes.
And so is Bakhita, incredible vocalists.
Amazing.
They write their own music.
Yeah.
They actually care about what they visually look like.
Yeah.
In terms of the in terms of the video content they put out. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And people always forget that those elements have to go in together. So when you meet young Kenyan female artists who get it, I'm just like, yeah, we're there's progress. For all the nonsense Eric keeps talking about this industry, kuna watu wenye wanajua kazi yao, kindly
have their together.
They have the They really have it together. So we're gonna get into the interview with you, Mama, in a few minutes.
No worries.
Get to know everything that she's got going on and stuff like that. Now I just wanted to give everyone a highlight so we can get the DMs as soon as possible of our character development topic of today.
We?
There is a 94-year-old man who left home in 1980, as in he chomoka like he's going Jobo. He came back last week. He left in 1980. Amerudi kwake juzi. Akasemati he was looking for greener pastures. He didn't get no greener pastures for X number of years. Because you imagine from 1980 we're in 2022. Now he's doing his comeback at age 94.
Ujama ameshinda. He's won. That's 10-0 by
we
then.
thought Tristan Thompson and Nini Tinder Swindler were, I'm like, this ninja. And he's come back and he's sitting on the couches like Nisawa. Like
10-0.
40 years.
Hey, that's the player now.
That's the guy. So I want feedback, because I can't imagine. I can't wait to go and watch his interview to find out what made him leave to begin with. Because whatever made him walk out of that house and not return for 40 years, I'm like, it's either uyo dem alikuwa na kasoronye was unlivable with, ama this ninja was just forced into a marriage and he was not prepared for. Because you literally left your children at nothing. They have now married and you have grandkids. Is when you're coming back. As in, people thought you died. There was a whole funeral that was done on your behalf. Now home merudi tu, it's like niaje nimerudi home.
Casually too.
Nilikuwa nimeenda kununua maziwa nimerudi 40 years later.
Basi umse kama ni dem amemchapa character development. O dem ni mrong. Huyo ni Juka imagine amekuwa kwa relationship gapi?
You tell me in 40 years.
Lakini mmoja amemshinda.
Amemshinda. Hey, that guy is my hero. My absolute freaking hero. I was like, this is the energy everybody needs. When you've had enough, you just chomoka, you go figure out your stuff, you come back when you're ready. It's like Atro Sumbuana, up on a kubishana, sijui going to meet the chiefs. No, I'm out.
That's another
Catch
definition.
you later.
That's another definition of give me some space.
That's not space. That's a lifetime. As in, you quit on life. You literally quit on life. So anyway, so that's our topic. Me, I want to know if you've ever been walked out on. DJ Hitch. Hey, no, you're gonna come back and tell me. You're saying Z now because you're in denial. I will convince you during the break, okay? How you must tell me this, because I know it has happened. I can see it in, you're those guys who kitu kihappen unaingia Instagram na zile quotes. At the end of the day, it's just between me and God. Where? And somebody's like, okay, that escalated. I guess there's a breakup happening.
Carpe diem.
Carpe diem, sijui nini. You only... And we'll see you in a few minutes. We're going to get into some music and we'll be back shortly to chat with Bakhita and all things her music. Icon Radio. That's all I had. I was like, wait, where's my head at? Oh my goodness. So listen, first of all, we need to replay Bakhita's songs in between. Because I know we didn't announce it when you played it.
Yes.
So we need everyone to know. But what I'm saying, what they have learned for sure is that it can be played. So all my DJs, kindly, fanyeni kazi yenyu.
Yes, follow suit.
Fanyeni kazi yenyu, as we're well represented here on Icon Radio because we support Kenyan talent, okay?
For sure.
And we give platform to all our Kenyan artists who want to get their music out there and so on, because we do play 75% of Kenyan music on our show, on our station. Ati 75.5.
Yeah.
Because bado kuna ile ya nani?
Sitaki kusound kaya huyo mse.
Mse mgani?
Mse anajifungia kwa glass.
Mse mgani anajifungia kwa glass?
Siriko.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't understand what that meant for a second. I was like, and all the, do you know what vision came to my mind? Remember Days of Our Lives where it used to start with the hourglass? That's what came to my mind. So I was like, what? That's Mali. Days of Our Lives is close. But I still remember the song for, what is it called? It was called what? A Beautiful what?
Beautiful.
You know what I'm talking about with Ross.
Yeah.
What is his name? The guy. Ross, Rich Forrester, La Logan, and tutarudia story baadaye. More of the story is, so Bakhita.
What's up?
Hi,
What's
Mama.
up? Hey.
How's it going? First of all, can I just say, you walked in and I don't think I paid attention. You have a durag on.
Imagine.
Hey? Like, this is my energy. This is the energy everybody needs to be about, right? What kind of durag by the Hitch? I feel like you own one for sure. For sure, I know you own one. For sure. You can't even cheat me. Considering your age, I know you own one.
Nilibafuliwa nikiwa high school.
Sasa kubafuliwa ni nini?
Kubafuliwa, that's another it's another
Let me tell you, listen,
terminology you're going to.
If I'm going to learn another language, it's going to have to be one that makes sense. So
Kubafuliwa ni kuibiwa.
Why can't you just say nilibiwa?
Si umeelewa?
Nimeelewa sasa.
Ni quality.
Chokesha wewe. So Bakhita, you've got your new EP coming out this in a couple of weeks.
Or rather, the video is coming out this
Friday.
The video, yes.
Called Purge.
Yeah, the video is called Anxieties.
Yeah, but I'm saying the EP is titled Purge.
Yeah.
Right? Why? What are you purging? Why purge?
So the whole EP just like explores the mental scape of artists. Personally, now here myself, which is going from a space of having anxiety to going to a place of like needing to taking up space to having people hating on your reggae. Like, so each of the songs kind of just detail through that whole process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you understood that, Hitch?
Yes.
So you're taking on like the mental health ups and downs for the creatives within the creative industry, obviously.
Yes, so we're purging all of the negative thought processes that we don't need with us. Yeah.
Positive vibes.
Yeah,
Did you talk about this?
I tell you.
My guys,
Yeah.
this is what people need to be singing about.
For,
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
See kila siku ati, oh, sijui you bend over to work. This is the energy people need to be singing. You know what I mean? Like things that actually elevate your listeners' lives and their state of mind. Like it's key, right? Alrighty then, Sasa. With the whole journey with what you've done, I know from what I've like read about and sort of like what people have said, you're very much about also like inclusivity.
Yeah.
Is that something that you are adamant on making possible? Like being open about the fact that you're all inclusive and that you're not limiting who can listen to your music and who you can interact with.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's something that I've always been adamant about.
Okay.
Just as myself, I'm a very accepting person. I try not to judge. Of course, there's times that, but
what wanafanya vitu that don't make sense.
Watu wakibu funny, we gotta keep them in line. But otherwise, yeah, my whole aesthetic and just being aches to make people feel included.
Yeah.
So this is for queer people, for women, for plus size people, for queer
everyone.
Yeah.
The whole gang.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love the fact that that's something you're backing up and being a friend of the queer community, because obviously we've seen everything that's been happening in the last maybe year and a half in regards to that community and all the ups and downs and the hardships, and even like with the work that McKen and Bold are doing, it's so nice when you get artists outside of the ones who individually have come out as members of the queer community. It's so nice when you get other artists being supportive of, because it means that the general messaging of it should be about love and positivity and just good energy is what everybody should be pushing. That's the agenda. Yes. You get what I mean?
Yes.
Because that applies to whether you're a thug. It should apply to everybody across the board, right?
True. But I am out and queer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, the single, what the video is coming out, is called Anxiety. I can't say this word on air. Anxiety. Nataka kila mtu aji fill in the blanks. Anxiety B, then the rest of the word. It's the female version of a dog.
Yep.
There we go. So why that title? Because that's a really for all there's something very aggressive about it, but also something very and what's the word for it? Like it has a stance. Like there's strength and aggression mixed together when you put something like that together. Because, you know, obviously we all know with anxiety, there's a level of, that's a mental health disorder that a lot of people are struggling with. So that's, I guess, is the softness of it. And like, you know, like you're taking a stance to help people, which is the soft side of that, of song title. Then obviously the B part is like, whoa. It's like, so that, okay. Why the title?
Honestly, because I've struggled with mental health for a long time.
Okay.
So especially like before 2020, I had a lot of issues with like anxiety, depression. So I'm still in and out of spaces where I get anxious and get very hyperstimulated in a way that's very negative by things going on. So anxiety's dog was because I don't know, I wanted something that feels like transformative in the sense that this is how I am, this is how it's been for some time. I might be anxieties, you know,
but it's
shit. But
Okay, I get that. And do you think that's in relation to, and I don't know if you're comfortable talking about this, but in regards to like the mental health that you know, like you underwent, and I really spend a lot of time on this show having this conversation, you know what I mean? Because I feel like the more we talk about it, the more this society is going to get like start to understand and actually start to deal with it, because there's still not enough tools for anybody who's going through anything of the sort. And then we'll all get so overwhelmed when somebody, you know, and it ends in the bad way of like somebody committing suicide. Then all of a sudden everyone is like, whoa. But I'm like, those are always like isolated once incident. But I'm like, if we created an environment where we can have these conversations openly all the time, I feel like it's going to start helping people being able to cope better. With your personal experience, is it as a result of being a member of the queer community? Was that one of the biggest influencers or influencing things that created that for you?
The feeling of anxiety?
Yes.
Wow. Honestly, I'd say it's a mix of so many different things. I used to be in a really racist high school and I had struggled with like body issues also. So it was just a bunch of different things, even family issues. So it just got to a point I actually did try to commit suicide in 2017, and coming out of that headspace, I was like, man, I really want to make sure that all of my music makes people who feel othered help them feel seen.
That's powerful, man.
Thanks.
Like to be able to overcome that and then still be on a mission to address those issues. Because those people, you know, you overcome something and you're like, I'm done. You know, like the same way, like you go through a really rough breakup and you're like, I'm not dating ever again, I'm done. And it's like you're single for like 5 years because you're like, that was a lot. You know, so to be able to like get back into it, that's super courageous, man.
Thank you.
And especially to use your own talent to keep that message going is so powerful, because we all know, like, you can be in a whole Puerto Rico if you're not spoken Spanish in your life, but music always relates to people. Like, people always connect with music one way or the other. You know what I mean? So well done, my guy. Well done. Let me tell you, I know amazing people is the moral of this story. I know amazing people. Hitch yako bado na judge, but watu wengine wenye mimi najua ni watu awesome. Well, that escalated. Anyway, so we'll be back in a few minutes. Let's get into some music. You guys are on the stage with Sandra and DJ Hitch on Icon Radio. And that's Icon Radio KE on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, iconradio.co.ke. See you in a few seconds. Icon Radio. DJ Hitch, there is a track you said we're going to premiere on our show.
Yes.
When is that track going to be ready? Because the people need to hear this song. When is the launch date?
Right here.
No, but when is the launch date? Are we launching it today? We cannot, exactly. So that's why I'm asking, when is the launch date? Because that song needs to come out.
Hey, that jam is
as
a killer.
Soon as possible.
It's a killer, literally.
Hey. I can't wait on the pole to hear it. Anyway, you guys, you're back on the stage. So Bakhita, you're still here with us.
Hey.
So the new video that you're about to release, the visual part of your single, you are responsible for set creation, the creative of like how
the creative direction.
Like the creative direction. How, like, are you nuts? Because that's a lot of work to do, and then on top of that, you're still ideally the video vixen. You're still doing the singing for it. Like,
And
that's a
styling.
lot. And it's giving me such Tiana Taylor vibes because that's what she does. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And we know, and even from what we see when she does the BTS that we normally see, you can see how much work it takes. What was that like for you?
Wow. Honestly, all of the videos that I've done have been the sole creative director, set designer.
That's...
sometimes I work with a stylist. In this one now, I was also my own stylist.
You were your own stylist.
Yeah. It was...
We unaona hapa Hitch anatafuta madem kumvalisha manguo anaona yeah must be nice.
Multidisciplinary. But honestly, yeah, I went into doing that because, like you said, like I really value like visual art, and I started out as a painter before going into stage design and set design. So with COVID, because I couldn't do stage design anymore because events weren't happening.
Yes.
I went into set design, and specifically for myself because I was like, look, I want to start putting out my music with like visual content that's like transformative, that shakes people, that people
and
are like, what's this? Like it doesn't make sense. So yeah, now that's where we are.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So. But then now outside of like doing it for yourself, is it something you'd want to do for other artists as well?
Yeah, it's actually what I do for a living.
Right.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dali.
That's awesome because I'm like, because most artists right now, a lot of the work that actually ideally quote unquote pays them isn't what they already want to do. So it's so nice to be able to be in a space to be able to now work with other artists, because even now yourself, even in regards to the conversations about like collaborations and blah blah blah, they can happen more effectively because you're already in that space, you're already working with artists in that regard. Oh my God, she's so awesome.
Yes.
Thanks.
True that.
Right?
Yeah. All-rounded styling.
So utamhaya is the moral of this story.
Akishaingia hapa ni hivyo.
Ndivyo.
Ameshaingia studio sasa ni hivyo.
Studio is next. So now what are your, once the video is out, what's the one thing you want your fans to relate to the most with what you've creatively come up with in terms of the set design and the visuals for this song?
Honestly, the different spectrums of what anxiety means.
Okay.
So there's a scene where it's like feeling like it's kind of like a desert, it's red, so the heat that comes with like, being in that anxious place where you unawashwa and you want to like look for a place out.
Yeah.
There's a set with like I made, let's say, a faux ocean kind of.
Wow.
Yeah. From like what are they called, plywood and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, so I want that to feel like the emotions that are overcoming you, though you're drowning in emotions. Then there's a set that's outside, which is like by the a forest kind of situation, which now is like self-reflection through the mind, just walking, and then I come face to face with a mirror. And then there's the final scene, which is the anxiety scene, which is now this doll-looked persona. Hey, the makeup artist worked magic.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and that one is like a doll look, but very violent still, very like domineering doll, like, because anxiety, like you'll be thinking like it just starts with like small thoughts like, did I do that okay, and then it's like a spiral into a whole panic attack. So it's this kind of like meek looking vibe, but it's coming in with heat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so excited now to see it. Yes. And you see, I like the fact that you've thought through your, like, what you want the video to give and what kind of emotions you want it to evoke in terms of from your fans. Because those people, they don't really think, it's like, it's usually just people in a club. No, like, I'm being serious. You know what I mean? So it's very few artists who actually think through visually the process. You know what I mean? I love, that's amazing. I'm actually very, very excited to see that. I'm stoked to see that.
Thank you.
So outside, once now, with the EP being out there, and like, what else? What's now the rest of the plan with what you want? Are you gonna do videos for each track? Is that the plan?
Hey, honestly, videos take up a lot of money.
They do.
Maybe if I get a sponsor on board, because so far I've self-funded every video that I've done.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I'm like, am I trying to break the bank this early into the year? But yeah, I hope to do another video for Taking Up Space some point in the year. A few remixes and stuff. A performance tour now for Purge. I had started it low-key when it dropped. And then now we're coming back into that. It dropped literally at the end of December. I'd say like on the 5th of Dec. So now is when we're trying to revive all of that with anxieties.
Okay.
And then
I love it.
Season.
Dream collaborations.
dream collaboration.
Both in Kenya and outside, like globally as well.
In Kenya, I'd say definitely Groovy Joe. She's amazing. I
Okay.
love her work. I love her style. I love her power as an artist.
Okay.
Outside of Kenya, Amare, Thames.
To be fair, when I first heard your I can't remember the name, sorry, the name of the, but that was my first thought. I was like, Amore. That's literally where my brain went.
Manifestations.
And
of
especially,
love.
right? Especially after I heard Tales by the Moonlight with her, and I was like, then I heard your song and I was like, oh my God, these guys have the exact same energy. So
Yeah,
I
that's
officially
what
have,
I'm saying.
I even know our next verses then. now.
Versus, eh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
wait.
Akili inafanya kazi. Oh my God, so it's like, Han, I'm so in awe of your awesome.
Thank you.
I think you're like incredibly talented.
Thank you.
And I really can't wait to see what's next. And please, you need to keep coming back. Keep sending us all
For
your
sure,
music.
For sure.
As you've heard, Hitch has already told you he's making you get into studio officially. Miombaya. You know what I mean? So I think, and I feel like personally, even outside of what we've done here today, I feel like I myself now, I'm just on a mission to like, like break it out, in terms of even like events. We need to get out there like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, do
Because I
something
can't wait
different.
to see what you're like doing a live performance.
It's insane.
You get what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't even, it's going to be epic.
You're going to be mad.
It's a mad thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sasa Hitch, after this, we need to play her music
Yes.
with an official introduction, sir, kindly. See it, you wanna mix two apples over without saying kindly, please. Sawa. Then we're getting back into some interesting political banter. Of how our president was apparently was going to be assassinated.
Hey.
Yeah. Like there's a guy who came out and he's got all the receipts. He went to the DCI with all the receipts, names, numbers, text messages to be like, yeah, this guy was going to be killed. I don't know, on his way to Dubai. He too last week. And we'll get into that in a minute.
Koni 24.
Ati ni 24.
Jack Bell.
Why are you like this?
Jack
Why
Bell.
are you like this? You're so silly. Then this horrible story that happened last weekend of the little boy who was, okay, I'm saying little boy, but obviously he's not like a boy. I say boy because he's much younger than I am. Who was nailed to a tree for stealing a radio.
Hey,
I don't know if you guys saw that going around. Yeah, he stole a radio and then literally they nailed him like Jesus style onto a tree and left him there. Because of stealing a radio that was coming to, I think, I don't know, the guy said it was like 150 bob or something. Unajua zile radio za ushago. Mtu like he nailed that. Hey. Hata kama ni Bob Justice, ours is whack. And then now we definitely have to talk about the fact that diaspora in the month of January sent 38.2 billion to the 254 in this month of January. As in last month too.
In Kenya shillings.
Sasa wewe ni swali aina gani? Like, how am I supposed to know people's bank accounts are like? But the 38.2 billion was sent with Kenyans outside of Kenya to the country. Yeah.
Watu wamesota.
Yeah. Na mimi nikikuita nitumie 5 sock ni nooks. Hey, ya Mungu ni mengi.
500.
Let's get into the music. Icon Radio. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the stage. Sasa, we're talking about something. This fellow who was nailed. Let me tell you, this thing has really stressed me out because, I get Bob Justice. I get it. Because sometimes doing that thing of going to the cops, it really, like it doesn't work out because it's long stories, Sijio write a statement, whatever. And historically, this country, people have always just taken matters into their own hands.
Yeah.
Sijui ule mtu mwenye ameiba simu tao, wakipatana unachapwa hapo vizuri, simu zirushe to whoever it was. Like we've seen it happen. But I feel like this situation was a bit extreme. So this young man, I don't know whether it was a hustle, like he was going to go and resell it, whether he just wanted to listen to radio, because again for shags, your time ya kulima. Ayeke tu radio hapo asikie, like I Okay then. So he stole this radio. And the problem is it's a community where they all know each other. So it wasn't like they didn't know that he's taken it. And that that they don't know him. Like it's a random person who just came from somewhere and just stole a radio. Not at all. He's somebody who they all know. So his own ideally community and friends, literally, after beating him up, literally tied him onto a tree and then nailed his hands onto the tree like Jesus style, properly, and then left him there and went.
Hey,
so
that's brutal, man.
do you get what I mean? Like, it's another level. Like, it's so extreme, because in the instance where somebody had not come through and like found him and like tried to help him out, like, I don't even understand what the end goal was supposed to be. Like, was he supposed to be there for like a few days? Like, you know, like, it's such an extreme solution. And then you're like tied onto this tree, and I believe it was in Western Sides. So already me myself, my mind started going for, I'm like, there's leopards, you know, like, it's such, and you know, you're bleeding, so you're literally calling onto any possible like dangers to come your way. Anybody else could just come and kill you, you know what I mean? Like, already, Maze, that thing made me so sad. And then, you know, when Citizen posted it, because Citizen posted it on their Instagram page, and that news literally blew up across the world, because I was getting a lot of like messages even from guys at like Nigeria and stuff, being like, hey, Kenya, how, what are you guys doing? You know what I mean? And this is fresh after the crazy news of the guy who had just murdered his wife. So everyone was like, okay, Kenya, we know it's tough times at the beginning of the year, but these measures are a bit extreme.
Hiyo atakani kufunza watu example. Kufunza nangi hiyo
unaget na sijui radio liko 150 bob. 150 bob is what, and those people thought that man's life is worth that 150 bob only to tie him onto a tree.
Una nail mtu hapo juu ya Walkman.
Now that you've taken us back to 1992. Why are you like this? I'm trying to be serious at the Walkman. Oh my God.
So,
first of all,
umesema 150 nikakumbuka tu hiyo ndio tenje nilikuwa na buy now. Sana hizi tenje za sahi ma smartphone.
That was it. Ukifanya rewind back to the song you like. Una press play.
Palito. Ilikuwa inaitwa palito.
Oh my God, you've given me like epic flashbacks of me and my Spice Girls tapes. Because I remember the tapes used to be like neon blue. Remember that time when all the tapes were neon blue, I don't know in color. Hey, okay, that one was that shop in town, Asanans. Asanans, the music store. Aki Hitch were old. I don't think Asanans still exists. I don't think it's I think it, yeah.
Inaweza kuwa by the same OG.
Haiko, see the one that it's not there. I passed there even this morning.
Squeezy like inaweza kuwa ni club ni mob squeezy.
What about DJ?
In the meantime.
So, I mentioned earlier, there's a businessman, Livondo, who last week got on a platform with these 1,001 rallies that are going around in the country currently to tell everybody how Uhuru's life is in danger. Sasa, his really close friend was Moses Kuria, who we all know just started working a few days ago after chomekaing with that blanket.
Yeah.
We don't know what he was doing, but here we are. So, this guy gets on this platform. The banter is supposed to be about elections. Yeye sijui nini zilimlipukia. Ti unajua, the president, he was daily being assassinated. I have proof. So he was then summoned with the head of DCI. Like, those ones of, my guy, you can't make such statements at rallies because you're inciting violence. Because for anybody who's listening and assuming, and you know the way he put it out there, it was like it's the opposition that's trying to do this. You get? So he said that when Uhuru went to Kisumu, they tried to do something to his aeroplane, and that's why he wound up, I don't know, driving. Then when he was going to Dubai, the reason why he had to do a detour, I don't know, into Qatar or something of the sort, is because again they tried to sabotage his flight. And then now he was referencing back to, you know, the way we know with Saitoti, like how his plane went down and blah, blah. So they were like, it's the same cronies. So he was basically trying to incite that, you know, Ruto no anafanya hii kazi. So sasa, you see, you can't make such statements anymore right now. Like, you make those kind of like, what are they called, like alarming statements. Yeah. You're summoned by the TCI now because you're contributing to people's panic and inciting violence. So he was called. Akafanya press conference outside of DCI and said, we have had a DCI evidence of the phone numbers, conversations, contacts of each individual who was supposed to be, and the mercenaries that were hired to do the work. So now, as we've been discussing in the last couple of weeks, and please, I want to know your feedback on this. We all know right now the political state in the 254 is just messy and tacky. Like, we thought Trump time was rough. It's like we're trying to like over like outdo him. at this point. You know what I mean? Like, people are just moving crazy. You tell me now that there's attempts on the president's life. I'm like, my guy, the guy is about to chomoka in August. So you just let him chomoka the same way. Like, what is it? Why are we trying to kill him now? But all I could think of was, this is the same as, you know, like, obviously a presidential kill right now will do more for Uhuru's allies than anything else. And the likelihood of everyone saying we're going to stick and vote for Raila because Uhuru has died, ile tu uruma. You know, like, you just, because you're like, if the guy, let's just support who we wanted us to support because now he's passed on. But in my mind, I'm like, how gangster, what kind of a gangster country are we living in? Me thought it's like rough, you know, like eating mutura and having a bad stomach is rough. We are hiring mercenaries to take out the head of state. A few months to elections. Do you know, like, that's like a whole new level of like extreme sports.
Lakini hata umse alitoa wapi evidence?
Kama
kama bodyguard wake, like watu wake hawajui.
Watu wake wakondea ukikujwa kokoje.
Mzee umse
You're forgetting Uhuru is the same guy who was out sipping one night and his whole car was stolen with his bodyguards and we found it in Uganda. So do you really have faith in his security? How is the president's car stolen because you guys are turning up together and it's found in Uganda? You know, monkey business. Ilivukati kwa border, I have no faith in the security team. None whatsoever. None.
Ilifikaje hata ilifikaje 500 meters kama wasi hawajajua.
Hey, so then you're trying to tell me that now they'll be able to know about mercenaries? There's nothing like that. Nothing. I have zero faith. None. I would not be surprised if it happened because I'm just like, because where were you? Mulikuwa mkifanya nini?
Anajitengenezea jina.
Nani?
Msi unajua.
Huyu Livondo.
Kwa loyal.
Now what kind of loyalty is that?
Game of Thrones manzi.
No, but it's not loyalty because what it makes it look like, it's like, it just shows you how serious and like accessible the president is, which is a very big problem. Do you know what I mean? Wewe mwenyewe hata sahi even to go to your mom's digs you have to call her first. You can't just show up. So how is it that random mercenaries have been hired to take out and they managed to get to you? Do you even know the president's number plate right now as you speak? So how did they get to his aeroplane that was flying out of the country? It's monkey business, let me tell you. We're living in tough times. Nyinyi mwenye mnaenda kuvote.
Huko ndani kuna inside job, kuna inside people huko.
100%. Which is even more worrying because I'm asking myself, what are we going to do come August? Like, already I'm stressed. I'm like, 22 holidays, see what sijui Tanzania, tuchape island vibes for that month, alafu turudi. Because I'm like, my guys, I cannot. I really just cannot. Sasa, we were talking about this diaspora sending 38.2 billion in January to Kenya. Do you guys have relatives outside of Kenya, by the way?
Yeah.
That send money to you?
No.
Bakhita is about to message all of our people to be like, so when everybody else was sending 38 billion, what will you call?
Unafanyanga nini
hiyo kupali huko that you can't help build this economy and help me out at the same time?
Tuma pesa ya mawe manzi. Simiti.
Watu wako under construction. Oh my goodness, and you guys, you're on the stage with Sandra DJ Hitch. Catch you in a few seconds. Bye.
Icon Radio.
It's a slip inside through my mind, trying to pinpoint where I lost the ability to feel alive. I spent a decade protecting the charade. I was fine in the end, I still had to do the time. Kwa ukweli nilikuwa nimecheza kidogo, hata sikuwa na moto. Gizani moyoni nilibeba kwa mgongo, akili kiwasha kwa joto. Healing, I took the time for my healing. Now all your two-faced models are screaming. I stepped away from the thieving to keep my path righteous and beaming, thriving. I'm on an upward curve, I'm thriving, and the second guessing is silent. Yeah, in this body unwinding, our souls are beating a silent drum. Yeah, we're leading the migration. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Were you ready?
Yeah. I hope you're feeling that.
So guys, for the record, that was Bakhita, who we just heard her songs, epic vocalist, and then also is just out here rapping. Wewe Hitch kazi yako tu ni kumix vitu. Hauna talent ingine. Nothing else. And I'm pretty sure
last time nilimix sikuamka.
Ati?
Last time nilimix vitu sikuamka.
Ulimix nini? Kumix madems doesn't count.
Atima?
So, officially in studio, finally, is the superstar, the ghetto princess, Pendo.
Yeah.
So, salimia watu tafadhali kindly.
Oh my God, I'm so shy. Hi.
Ati, I'm so shy.
Yeah, Jay.
Can you guys first of all see how pink she looks? Effortless. Effortless.
Asanteni.
Eh? I'm just saying, karibu babes.
I can be boss at Myra.
I'm like, that wasn't even where we were supposed to get into, but here we are. Ome could be said Myra.
Aki, one after the other. Nilipiga tu nduru kwa gari.
Leo kikama.
Hapana jana. Leo. Leo.
Like that's see, I told you we're currently in a state of living in gangster mode in this country. Like we're in gangster state, from the politicians to music. There's just gangster things happening left, right, and center. Character development, bado ndio hiyo inasumbua. It's rough times right now. So, Miss Pendo, I hear through the grapevine. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you anything, Gingy. That you've got. So we know that Pendo is an artist, and we've seen your music before. And I met her a few years ago, and I got very upset when I actually found out you can sing.
Sure.
And you remember how I had mpasho for you for one evening?
Yes.
Until she was fed up, because I was like, this doesn't make sense. Why you? It was a very aggressive pep talk. A little bit in a drunken stupor, but it was there.
Yeah. I agree.
Purely because you are, like, and I said earlier when we started the show with when Bakhita also came, I really love the female artists in this country who actually have the talent and genuinely care about building their brand in terms of music.
Yeah.
And participating fully, because like Bakhita, you also get very involved in terms of what you're visually going to wear, you know, like doing the dancing, you know, what the set is going to look like, which photography or videographer she's going to use. You're very hands-on with your music. And finally, the project I've been begging for.
Yes.
Finally.
Excited as you are,
because I'm like, we finally get to hear Pendo, the artist, in terms of your level of like talent and skill level.
Yes.
In terms of your voice.
Yes.
Because you're a powerhouse in terms, like vocally, you're really a powerhouse.
And with this time, I grew. My voice can do things. Just a weight.
Cheza tena.
Yeah. So after see cheza tena, I've been practicing a lot in the house.
Okay.
And my voice has majorly grown.
You put in the work, and now
know.
you're about to yield the results.
I did my math, I did my homework.
Ukapata A+,
A
for effort, kila kitu. No, that's amazing. So your EP comes out in March.
Yes.
Right? Because she's just the EP came out for Bakhita just this year, and then she's dropping the visual for one of the singles, for the first single on it. Yes. And she was the set director, stylist for her, you know what I mean?
Everything has to be my way.
You're not taking direction from nobody.
I will do the choreography. Dance too. Yes.
No, but there you are, an amazing dancer. All your other videos, there's always been a dance scene.
I dance, and I think people want to say, oh, she's trying to copy who? Oh, Kenyans will always be Kenyans, but it's supposed to be done like that. If you're going to do it all the way.
All the way.
Halfway?
Yeah, I agree. You're even getting it in your own conversation. So I'm really excited. It's called Illusion.
Yes.
And can you, why did you pick the word illusion?
At first, there was another name. I can't remember.
Thank God we moved on.
Yes, we moved on. But I settled on illusion because it's all about different moods, different vibes.
Okay.
And life is an illusion.
Facts.
It's how you want to picture it, that's the way it will go.
Yeah.
If you want to have sex right now, we will have sex. If you want to get angry, by the way, we'll
get angry, yeah.
Get angry. So it's illusion. It goes all the way to belief.
Love it. Love it.
Let me not tell you much, but it's wide. And
I love it because even just seeing the posts you've been doing like online in terms of some of the visuals, and I think, to be fair, but maybe this is because I know you on a personal level, but I feel like why I feel like this is going to be very effective is because Pendo will, like, people assume that based on one or two things that they see online, it defines her.
Which I like.
And I know that's her emotion. She's like, okay, so this kind of come out and everybody decided this is it. She's like, cool. Doesn't argue with nobody. She's like, yeah. She'll even changia the conversation. You'll come to a comment and be like, wait, she'll be like, hey, ni ukweli. You know what I mean? And that's why I really I was like excited about you calling it that, because there's so much mystery around you when people physically meet you at first and you like start to hang out with her, because Pendo will give you what she thinks you need to see. That doesn't necessarily mean that's where she's at that moment. You get what I mean? And you can run with assumptions.
Don't do that. I'm spilling my secret.
We gotta speak. Hey, we sent it's 2020? 2020 true. That's what Hitch coined this year. 2020 true. So it is what it is. Right? But now, and you know, and when I got to know you, it made me so excited because you're such an amazing human being. Like, she's got such a beautiful soul and this very gangster exterior that makes no sense to me half the time. But I'm like, you know what I mean? But she's got such a beautiful soul. And so I'm happy. Actually, I'm lying. I'm excited to be able to be supportive and see everybody get to witness you as an artist outside of all the other hoopla and manenos and you know the things that a lot of our industry, and especially you guys as women, I'm sure you know, the Kenyan music industry always focuses on the most trivial of things about an artist. You know, like if yesterday a picture of you came out and you were kidogo drunk somewhere, that's what they're going around with for like the rest of your career. Like they'll take away from your actual talent. And it's even, I think, slightly worse for females because there's a different standard we're held to. You get what I mean? Ukidecide unaenda out kila siku, udem anakuanga tu out. But when your male counterpart does it, it's like, that guy, it was lit. Different conversation, you know what I mean? Yeah. So thank you guys for like resetting standards that you have defined for yourselves. You know what I mean? That it's like me, this is, so either you are with me or you're not, but either way I stay winning. You know what I mean? Which is awesome. So Bakhita, actually now you've got Purge. When is the Purge coming out, the video?
So it's coming out on the 25th of February, this Friday.
On Friday. Hey!
Yes.
Love it.
Flames.
So today at what time?
That day, on Friday.
Today is Friday.
Oh!
This is how you know she's been working overtime.
Yeah.
The days are all merged into one.
Hakuna
shida. When does that come out?
Today at 7 p.m.
So can we exclusively as Icon Radio premiere that also by the same time you're doing it, and we do like a live interview with you?
Please, that would be amazing.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be amazing.
So tonight we do a live with you on your Instagram, and we just engage with what you premiered via YouTube.
Oh yes.
Dig it. Absolutely dig it. Any events you've got coming up where guys can catch you performing live?
Yes, I have an event on the 26th actually.
Tomorrow, Saturday.
So it's going to be tomorrow. It's at Cheche Books. It's being hosted by this other person called Bakhita as well. Mutete Bakhita.
Bakhita.
Wow.
Thanks to.
Wow.
Since the song came out, we're plagued. But yeah, it's going to be amazing. It's a clothes swap, kind of sustainable fashion.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I dig that.
Yeah.
Okay, vibes. And then also on top of that, we've got the two of them are going to be performing on the 13th at Wama. Live with a whole live band. My guy. Pendo performs as well tonight, I know, at Wama as well. Just to start getting herself back in the scene. To, you know, building up towards the event on the 13th. We've also got Ati? Leo Nairobi itawaka moto. Magel them. Ni magel them everywhere. Shutting it down. Okay guys, we're going to get on a break for a real quick minute and then come back and do all things Pendo. She's going to explain to us Wagwan. Icon Radio. DJ Hitch, where are you playing tonight?
Wama Africa. Alongside Pendo.
Okay.
In the meantime.
So hizo ndio zitakuwa unaenda kucontinue hizo mixes ati wewe wacha kusema kiche in the meantime. What's the other one that you normally say? Ile DJ.
DJ.
Let me tell you. And I'm still waiting for you to send me a voice note of you saying that so I can use it on my phone. That thing gives me life. Gives me life. And then after this, they introduced me to a DJ. What's his name? A DJ Afro. We were voiceovers or movies. Yeah. Let me tell you, introducing me to that guy was the worst mistake you made. Because I spent quality time just going to listen so I can die of laughter. This country is just amazing. What a time to be in the entertainment it is in the 254. Speaking of Miss Pendo, so now you've got Illusion coming up.
Yes.
What is the biggest thing you want your fans, the ones who started with you from 8-9 years ago until now, to get from this new project?
This is a new person. Like, forget the person you think you know.
That one expired.
Like, hello, nice to meet you. Once again. Yes. Yes. Because I took my time to write. I wrote all of them, actually.
Hiya.
Yes.
Okay.
FYI. And am I allowed to tell you who's worked on what?
Of course. It's your project. You tell us what you want to tell us.
It was done fully by So Fresh and mixed and mastered by Trevor McGack.
Who, in case nobody knows, there's a Grammy-winning producer in the 254. So it's a big deal.
It's a big deal. Yeah. And also, some instruments are done by Ben Sol.
Woo!
Yes, so I have the whole team.
So you know the project is just really lit.
Yes.
Like already just from the names, you just know it's going to make sense.
Sounds good.
Right? Yes. Okay, so other than now, like you're saying, like the old you's gone, this is now the new, with everything, like you've had growth.
Yes.
You've experienced life. Mm-hmm. You've seen, I know you've gone through a lot of also personal, stuff, which obviously has helped.
Yeah.
Was doing this project, did it help you overcome some of the tough moments in your life?
Yes.
Yeah.
As you guys know, I lost my mom.
Yeah.
Sometime last year.
Yeah.
Due to Corona and this shit. Yeah. So one of the songs called Namwamini, which is track 3, was just basically for her. And also the cover.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
The cover was taken from the last portrait she bought. She loved art.
Okay.
So the last portrait she bought is the cover of the Illusion EP.
Nice.
Yeah, and I made it myself.
Ish. But you're trying to say, to see females who, you're doing your own graphics, you're doing your songwriting, you're the one who's going to hunt down your producers, you're directing, you're styling, unafanya choreography.
Yes.
Ati the delivery.
Hapo umeenda sana.
Lakini Hitch, leo naona wewe weekend yako imeanza hata kabla show iishe. I'm like, please make it make sense, my nigga. Please make it make sense. No, so that's really good, and I'm so sure that anybody who's obviously known you, especially your fans who've known you from then until now, I think they're going to have a very enlightening experience with this new EP, and they're going to get to know you on a personal level, and not necessarily that they're going to know you like now you're best friends or something of the sort, but I'm saying they're going to know parts about you. Never. Wow.
I'm just being honest, I just want people to, it's more of listening to what I'm trying to say to the message.
Yeah.
To put out than ingoma na bamba.
Twende kwa clubs, nini. Yeah.
Yes, it's more of the words, it's more of the time that I took to put in those words.
Yeah.
Yes.
After experiences and learning and some level of growth and so on. This is so exciting. Like, I can't wait for it to be released. Personally, I've already had an exclusive listen, so I'm just saying. One of the Hitch ananiangalia, ungeweza kunitumia hizo ngoma.
Pana siko kwa link nyingine wewe usipata.
No, this is like that's I'm so excited for you. Even just as an artist, especially now that you're taking this on fully and seriously and being a part of it, because like I was telling Bakhita earlier, which I just told you a few minutes ago, the good thing with getting involved with every aspect of your brand is it means the time when the glow up happens, and now all of a sudden Sandra kikupigia simu una time kushika simu yangu, when that time comes, the good thing is nobody can ideally play you because you know every element and every aspect of your career. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which is ideally what we call the business of music, which this industry has really struggled with helping artists to be able to understand. Somebody just says, I have a manager, and they think that because you have a manager, as long as you're being booked to go, I don't know for which club appearances, the guy is doing his job. But they don't realize there's a whole there's all these other elements of yourself as a brand. You know what I mean? Yeah. Bora tu tusifike level ya kuchoma kama Kanye, cause yake sasa ni
mimi by the way ikienda sana tutatengeneza stem player yetu. Yeah, serious though, because it takes a lot of work.
It does.
We are silali siku zingine, some days I would take 3 nights and not sleep because I like this song.
I need to get it right.
Yes, yeah.
Which is important. And see people, and once you go through that, and it's not just somebody wrote you some, you know, like commercial lyrics and you were given a track.
Yeah.
Once you go through that, I think you now you push harder for yourself.
Yeah.
Because you know the time and effort you went through and the sacrifices you've had to make.
Yeah.
Sindio?
Of lyrics, I forgot to mention someone else kabla ni nyonge.
Nani?
Ukombele Telemani.
Oh!
Yes, there's Tele also.
Who
helped write.
Oh, good.
A few verses here.
Yeah.
And also Critical.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Tele is actually a very good songwriter.
Yes, he is.
People don't give him enough credit for the work he does in terms of the industry in regards to that, but that's amazing.
Yes.
That's actually amazing. So you see, she thought through her plan.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Which is amazing. Like the fact that you actually thought through it.
Yes.
Hitch, unaona mimi nakuletenga artists that make sense.
Yes.
Sio mse wako akina Godi na ule mse wako wa UDA. See what wa kuchoma. The people who understand what they're trying to achieve with their careers.
Yeah.
So we're catching Pendo this evening at Wama live. You come through, you guys, and actually listen to what her voice actually sounds like. Bakhita will also be live at Cheche Books. But both of them, as powerhouse female artists in the 254, are going to be with us on the 13th of February at Wama. So the artwork and everything will be out soon. So we'll let the people know officially on all official platforms. Na tusikie tuko na event kubwa sana hata kama as Icon Radio. My colleagues for Sports and Reggae, Innocent and Uncle Chims, have a gig on the 5th of March at the Tap, which is next weekend. So we're going to be live on location with Sports and Reggae from 10 in the morning. Yani nenda kusikiza ma DJ 10 asubuhi. Niko ready mbaya. I am coming equipped for the sherehe. Why you like this? Please. I really hope those are going to be the voices you're going to use for that entire event, just for my personal amusement.
Yes.
On my days. So girls, it was amazing catching up with you guys. I cannot wait to experience your magic on the 13th of March. It's going to be good vibes. I can't wait now to see the video for Purge. Finally, get Illusion out there.
Yeah. Yes.
Potentially make the two of you get into studio.
Please.
I'm speaking it into existence.
Yes.
Nimeirusha kwa existence. Under Icon Records, ama. Nime speak into existence. We will make it happen. So yeah, my loves, this was The Stitch with Sandra and DJ Hitch on Icon Radio. Adios!
Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug.